Okay, the next video we're going to be doing, we're looking at today dividing by 10, hundreds and thousands. This is the sheet that you'll be needing to do the questions from. I hope you can see it clearly on the YouTube video. You can at any time stop it and copy the questions down. Okay, or do a screenshot. Right, move this to one side. Right, let's go through the technique. Right, welcome back. Bismillah Rahman Rahim. This is dividing by tens, hundreds and thousands video. Make sure that we're actually in frame. Okay. My God, this stiff. Okay, right. Today's date is the 18th of the 4th. Okay, now let's first of all go through some of the rules as we did in the earlier lesson when we did multiplying by tens, hundreds and thousands. We had a method for whole numbers and a method for decimal numbers. So this is just a quick revision of our just last lesson. So when we multiply a whole number by 10, we add 1 0. Multiply a whole number by 100, we add 2 zeros. Multiply a whole number by 1,000, we add 3 zeros. Okay, and we add these at the end of the whole numbers. Now, if we are multiplying, when we were multiplying decimal numbers, we move the decimal point one place to the right for times by 10, 2 places right for times by 100, and 3 places right for times by 1,000. Now, the similar technique happens for division in reverse. So if we look at the method now over here, so the method for whole numbers, and this is for whole numbers with zeros at the end. Okay, so what do we do? For dividing by 10, we remove 1 0, yeah? Okay, and when we're going to be dividing by 100, we will remove 2 zeros. And if you're dividing by 1,000, okay, so that's the method for whole numbers. So let's underline that method. That's different. We'll show you exactly how that method comes into place now in the next couple of questions, in the next few minutes. Okay. Okay, remember the whole number must have the zeros already at the end of the number for us to use this method. Okay, if we don't have enough zeros, we have to decimalize the number. Okay, so if there are not enough zeros at the end of the number, okay, then we decimalize whole number and use the decimal technique. Okay, right. So if we got whole numbers with lots of zeros, we can remove 1 0 from the end, 2 zeros from the end, 3 zeros from the end. But if we don't have enough zeros at the end of a whole number, then we have to decimalize the number. And let's go on to that decimal method. So that's the method for whole numbers, part A. Part B, for decimal numbers. So we have different techniques for dividing by 10, 100,000 when we're dealing with whole numbers, and different one for decimal numbers. Okay, so this is part B. Right, so when you have decimal numbers, if we divide it by 10, what do you do with the decimal point? We move it one place to the left. If we divide it by 100, we move it two places to the left. Divided by 1000, we move it three places left. Okay, you can use this technique for all questions, but we do use this easier technique as well. Okay, let's move on to this page over here now. Now let's do some of these questions that we have here. So make sure that everything is in the right place. No, it's not. I want to move it up there a bit. Okay. Okay, right, here's our new spot, right. Getting back to our question sheet, I'm going to select some questions from here to do to now. So let's try some whole number questions. So number one, say for example we have 6200 and we want to divide that by 10. So the technique is what? The technique is to remove 10 from the end and then copy the number down. 620, done. If we start with the same number and we divide it by 100, what do we do now? According to the rule, you remove 2 zeros from the end of the number. So here we go, 1, 2, copy the rest of the number down, and that gives you 62. So far, nice and straightforward. This question gets a bit more tricky when we have to divide it by 1000. Oops, I think I've increased it by an extra 0. Give me one moment while we correct that. Okay. These are live videos being made as I'm teaching an existing student who has come today for a lesson. So please forgive us for any extra noises and bings and bongs in the lesson. Okay, so we have divided by 1000. Now, the rule for dividing by 1000 states that you've got to remove 3 zeros, isn't it? Now, do you have 3 zeros? No. So because we don't have 3 zeros in the question, we have to use a second technique, which is decimalizing it. Now, we know that the decimal point for any whole number is at the far right hand side, is at the end. So we put the decimal point in ourselves now in red. So we just decimalize the number. Now we've got to follow the decimal technique, which is divide by 10, one place is left, 2 places, 3 places. Okay, now, traditionally, when we divide a number by 1000, the number moves 3 places to the right in the place value, which is equivalent to the decimal point moving 3 places to the left. Okay, so let's move it 3 places left now. 1, 2, 3, drop. Remember the technique now is copy down, copy, copy, copy. Okay, right. So we have 6.200. 6.200 is the number that we got now. Now remember, we have in this number of unnecessary zeros. So 6.200 is the same as 6.2. Done. Okay, let's move on to another question. So here was a question that we had 2 zeros on, which is okay for divided by 10, okay for divided by 100, but wasn't okay for dividing by 1000. So we had to decimalize the number, put a decimal point at the end of the number, and then move the decimal point 3 places to the left, which is the same as the number moving 3 places to the right on the place value, if you're doing the place value technique. So that gives you 6.2. That's our first example done. Okay, let's have a look at a number that starts off with a decimal in the first place. So let's have a look, for example, at So we have 416.5 and we're going to divide it by 10. So the technique for dividing by 10 is move the decimal point one place to the left. So move one place to the left, drop it down. So that gives you 4165. Job's done. Next we have 416.5. We're now going to divide it by 100. So we move 1, 2 places. We drop it down. 4.165. Okay, done. Next question. 4.165. We have to divide it by 1000. Okay, I think I put the decimal point in the wrong place. The number stays the same. It's 416.5, yes? Divided by 1000, you got 3 zeros, 3 places to the left. Drop it down. 4165. What do we need here? We need an extra 0 to make the number sound right when you read the number out. And we're done. Okay, are we happy with that? Right, let's look at one more example. Okay, let's have a look at these next 3 examples. I'm just going to check that we are still in focus and we are nearly out of focus. Okay. Okay. Just to show you the rest of the page, what we just done. Okay. So 0.7 divided by 10. Okay, the technique is one place to the left. Okay, one place to the left. Okay, so we copy the numbers down. Where's decimal point land? Here. Okay, is that my final answer? What do we do? Add an extra 0 to make the numbers look right. Next one, 0.7 divided by 100. So now we've got to move it 1, 2 places to the left. So we copy down the 7, copy down the 0. What do we do with the gap over here? We put a 0 in the gap and drop the decimal point down. Is that my final answer? So we need an extra 0 for the number to sound right when you say it. So it says 0.007. Next one, 0.7 divided by 1000. You have 1, 2, 3 zeros. So we can do how many jumps? 3. 1, 2, 3. 3 jumps. So what do? We copy the 7 down, copy the 0 down, and in that gap here, what do we do? 0, gap, 0, and at the front, another 0 for the number to sound right, and we are finished. Okay, that's the end of this video. Please proceed to doing the questions from the exercise that we gave you earlier. Proceed to doing these questions, and hopefully see you in the next video. Jazakallah for joining us. Wa alaikum salam. Right, okay.